Tottenham On Tour. Tottenham On Tour. Tottenham On Tour.
Welcome to the Two Brians. It's Friday night. Sorry, guys, a little slow on the take there. Welcome to Tottenham On Tour YouTube channel. It is myself and Brian, and it is just us for now. We've got a guest coming who's joining us at some point. We'll introduce him when he gets here. What a lovely start to the Premier League season today wasn't it, Brian?
Oh, mate, do you know what? Football's back. Football's back. Like we were all saying yesterday on Bob's stream, how good it is to have the fans back. And boy, did Brentford make their noise known. But as I said, and just like Reloaded, as Reloaded said, it is time for AFTV and Shield. Boy, have we missed it.
Yeah.
I even saw today, Robbie did a snippet saying for the first time in 17 months, I'm on my way to a game. And I was like, oh, mate. And like I said, we did our first Tottenham On Tour video after we beat the Filth. We're doing our first two Bryans after the Filth have got an absolute battering. What's up, Bryce? And then literally, is there a better way to start? Let's just hope this thing happens, that every time we do a stream, something bad has happened to Arsenal.
It is a lovely thing to have happen at the same time. I mean, Brentford, well deserved, played very good today. Dominated Arsenal, other than maybe possession a little bit. Arsenal had some possession in the first half, but it was all Brentford, and great to see, especially fans back in the stadiums and looking really confident and like they were part of the Premier League, and then Arsenal looking like they weren't. So I want to share a stat here because I thought this was really funny. Considering the situation. Let me just find the window here because it is hilarious. So this is the $50 million signing of Ben White, and look at his statistics today.
That's £50 million all there for you. He's doing a good impression of Ty there with his water bottle.
Right? Like, this is just absolute shambles. If you look at this, it's so funny. 45.5% duels won, 5 out of 11, 42.8% aerials won, 3 out of 7. Like that, just absolutely pathetic. And at fault for the second goal, pretty obviously. And it was great way to start the weekend. Hopefully we can finish it in a positive way as well.
Hopefully we can. I mean, what's his name? I can't remember. Bern Leno almost made it 3-0 with when he flapped out a corner.
Didn't he?
They are a mess. I mean, the Arsenal meltdown has gone into full effect, and we think we've got it bad. I mean, we've got it bad for many other reasons, but this is just, it was such a glorious thing to see. Glorious thing to see.
It absolutely was. They look really bad. I know they're missing Aubameyang and Lacazette, but
it's a bit weird, isn't it? Them both being out at the same time.
It's a bit weird, but would they have made a difference that much? I mean, I just think Brentford were the better side today. I don't think it would have made a difference.
Well, without a doubt. You got to remember as well. It was the thing I didn't even know. I was watching it on Sky Sports, so Martin Tyler was doing this bit, and I didn't realise till today Brentford's last game in the first division 74 years ago
74
was
years
a
ago.
1-0 loss to Arsenal.
Oh, no way! I didn't know that.
1-0 loss to Arsenal, their final game in the first division or whatever it was called back then, and then their first game back in the big time. And they were terrific. They were absolutely terrific. We were talking about, what's up, Curse? We were talking about it yesterday, and I actually said 2-0, if you remember. You said 1-0, didn't you? And I was
I actually said 1-1. I thought it was. I did. I ended up going 1-1. I didn't want to, but I thought that was also before I knew Lacazette and Aubameyang were out. I do think that they probably would have scored a goal. But yeah, again, like I said, well deserved from Brentford. What did you have? What was the scoreline you had?
2-0.
Oh, you had 2-0. Oh, you got it bang on then.
I got it bang on, and yeah, I mean, the one thing you got to say with them as well is, really, Tony was superb. I mean, they're
fantastic player.
Even as a front two, they were working very well together. It's good to see if two up top.
They could have had a couple more, to be fair, as well.
They could have, but I tell you what, honestly, Arsenal do not learn from their mistakes. They cannot play out from the back. They could. Even Jamie Carragher was saying in commentary, just go and attack them for every single time they pass the ball back. That's all you need to do to Arsenal.
And Absolutely, Brentford are a pressing team. Like that's how they
Yep.
play. And so especially with two up top, like you said, they're going to press. They're going to make a team really uncomfortable, especially if you play at the back. Hopefully, we don't try to do that when we play. I don't see that as being something that Nuno has been doing in preseason. So I think we'll be all right. But hilarious to watch. Oh yeah, this was a good one too, Sean. Sean, what's up, Sean? Brentford singing shit. A shit Tottenham Hotspur. You're just a shit Tottenham
Oh, I
Hotspur.
love Brentford already. I love
I
them
know
already.
they're fans. New stadium for them too. First time that stadium we've seen that stadium in the Premier League. The 50th team to ever play in the Premier League, which was
Yep.
another statistic from today, which was historical and well deserved from them. I'm looking forward to watching them play this season. I think they're going to go up and down. It's not going to be perfect, but they'll be entertaining to watch. And at least they went for it. They didn't sit deep and
Oh, big time. There's no.
let Arsenal come on to them. They went after it, so it was good to see.
I have always loved it. Like when a Blackpool, a Sheffield United, a Wigan, a Reading, a new team come up, and you know what? Brentford's story over the last few years, where this chairman has taken them from, how they've done things,
Very
how they've
impressive.
done. Oh, mate. I mean, the stadium, it's a nice stadium, but it looks a bit weird shaped. It's like it's not exactly the most prettiest to look at.
It's a bit odd, isn't it?
Yeah, but you know what? Compared to Griffin Park and where they were, when I was growing up and started watching football, I can remember Griffin Park, and I know what kind of stadium that was. It's night and day from what they were used to.
Yeah, just a mile up the road apparently too. So they stayed as local as they
Yep.
possibly could, which I like. That's good to see when a team doesn't have to move. Like we nearly experienced leaving North London. So good for them, good for their fans, and you can tell they really enjoyed it. There's a few people making fun of their reaction to the game. I do think the reaction because they won it was like they won a cup final. It was more that they hadn't seen their fans since they got to the
Exactly.
Premier League. And
Exactly.
and they just beat a big club on the first game, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the fanfare and how much they enjoyed it. I thought it was appropriate for the situation. So
Well, it shows what they're doing. I mean, we went mad because of what happened with us at Aston Villa and the players not coming out. That was welcome back. It's been your first time back.
yeah,
We're in the Premier League. You've had a hard year. We are so happy to have you back. I mean, even the manager to start the whole game was really. I mean,
getting
I'm
them
really
going and
looking forward
stuff.
to.
Yeah,
I'm really looking forward to seeing them. And I don't even think they'll be in the relegation struggle. I think they'll be top, bottom half, low.
yeah, 13th, 12th, 13th kind
Yeah,
of scenario. I can see them hitting, and I think they based on what I've seen, especially when you've got an Ivan Toney and the player who's playing beside him, whose name escapes me at the moment, who's really quite good in this game
it's
as well.
unbelievable.
Very, very good. So they've got a good strike force. They've got a solid midfield, and their defense looked really, really solid as well. Didn't really give Arsenal anything.
Yep.
So I think shots from outside the box, maybe 2 or 3 of them that were reasonably good. That the keeper had to make a save, but other than that, it was like Arsenal had nothing, and they looked like the team just promoted, which was great. I have to say.
I'm so looking. I haven't called my best mate just yet because he won't be in a good mood. But he's fully expecting it. He's like, I don't get. It's like literally, he's moved away from London now. My best mate Jerry. He's now living in Stoke on Trent. He's like, fuck this. I'm going to watch Stoke this season. He's like, I'm not even. He's checking Stoke to try and get tickets.
That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
I think they are in for a really bad season. Well, do you know what? I wouldn't mind putting money on Arteta being the first manager to go.
Yeah, I was thinking about that myself. I do think the look on his face, he looked so defeated. And it was great because he's such a smug prick. He
Yep.
deserves to have that look on his face. He was all chipper and thinking like, oh, like super confident before the game and
Yep.
in the interviews. And I'm like, and then I saw the team sheet and I was like, really? That's who you're playing in the first game. Martinelli is your striker. Yeah, that's not going to go very well. Hal Perry says there was an old man in tears after. You got to love to see that singing "Hey Jude." Yeah,
Yeah.
it was all fantastic stuff. Really, really good. This was funny from Kirst. Højbjerg, I said it right for you, Kirst. Højbjerg versus Arteta. I know who my money is on. Great stuff from Højbjerg, and and it's great. It's a great image too. That's the stuff you want to see. Those are the things we want to see, right? Well, we're doing a show today that's a bit different than what most
Before
people
we do
do.
that, sorry, Brian, we missed out.
Oh, sorry,
one thing
yeah.
again. We just wanted
Yeah,
to
go.
talk about also. Not only was it wonderful to see Brentford fans, but what a wonderful reception they gave Saka as well. After us,
Oh yeah, right.
I mean,
Thank you.
Saka came on, and it was like he was back at the Emirates. I think it was a wonderful touch by Brentford. And I think, do you know what? I was very scared after the Euros. I mean, you can remember when we did our show straight after.
Mhm.
I was kind of thinking about what was going to come and what happened in England, thinking that they were going to get the Beckham treatment. I really thought they were going to get the Beckham treatment, not just Saka, but Rashford and Sancho as well. But the way Saka's been treated is unbelievable, and it's nice to see this is happening with football again.
Yeah, it really is. What it does show is that it's a small group of people who are doing it.
Yeah,
It's not the football community. It's a bunch of wanks on social media with the keyboard warriors and stuff.
correct.
And it's just nice. It just makes it adds to the excitement of the season starting again, and it makes me feel good about football again after that. Because I really enjoyed the Euros, and then that stuff kind of just put a bad taste in my mouth about it. So positive to see. Just want to say you're welcome, Cursed, for the pronunciation. Reload says Tottenham on Tour, smug prick. Wonder where you learned that. Yeah, I'm guessing it's from the other smug prick he used to work for at the club we're about to talk about. And of course it does feel that way, doesn't it?
Yep.
Just can't stand the guy. Can't stand either of them, to be honest with you, from a personality perspective. I remember watching that show. It was actually a pretty shaky time, wasn't it? What show was she talking about? Oh, yeah, I know what you were just speaking about.
Yep.
Yep. Just one other thing from Aussie Tots Bryce. Sad thing is all these clubs are getting behind this kid, but if his shoe was on the other foot, there would be no way Arsenal dropped the rivalry to support a kid. It's hard to say that. Possibly, Arsenal fans aren't great, so I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest. But I hate to sort of add some negatives after the positives of that stuff. So Curse is the racism one. Thanks, Kirst. I figured that's what we were talking about. So Brian, do you want to get into what we're talking about for this episode? It's a bit different. We're gonna do what we're gonna do. Well, I'm gonna let you explain it because this was your idea. We're gonna talk a little bit about Man City and our previous results with Man City. The name of the show is called this for a reason. It is called For at Home with a question mark. We have Brian. Why don't you?
Yeah, so I was talking to you earlier, Brian, obviously a few days ago, and I thought everyone will be doing, obviously, with all the great channels and all the family will be doing their own spin on the preview of the big game coming up, which we'll touch on a little bit, obviously. But I thought, you know what? With all the doom and gloom going around our club at the moment, for whether it be Kane, Levy, players, whatever it may be, I said as well, I think we're going to win on Sunday. And I think
Me
we're
too.
going to win because it's Man City first game of the season. They don't notoriously start well. They've got a few players out like we will have. But also what I remembered is since we've opened up the lane, or the new White Hart Lane, they haven't scored a goal against us at White Hart Lane. We have won every single game. So I thought, you know what? Let's have a little bit of fun and just remember those great games. So obviously, we're going to start with the first one, which was the second game ever at the new Tottenham Hotspur Stadium after the Crystal Palace win. And I can remember where I was because I was working at Booking.com downtown, and then obviously the game was a 2:45 kickoff here. Obviously 7:45 back home. So as Booking.com knew, when Tottenham play, I don't work. So
At least you had that, right?
Oh no! I mean, they knew it. It got to the point where it was better for me to be out of the office than in the office because I started shouting and screaming and going crazy. Sue the Diamond, Sue Smith the Diamond is in. I always
She's
have to say
she's
hello
with
to
us
her.
today. Yeah, what's up, Sue?
She's incredible. I love that woman. And one of my friends from Booking.com back home, who was Italian, she actually flew over to see me. So she said, "By the way, Brian, I'm coming to meet you today." And I was like, "Well, you're coming to the pub with me to watch Tottenham Man City." She was like, "What?" So I went to the
No way.
Scotland Yard. And before we start talking about again, Kevin, please send me a message on Twitter. I have been trying to find you, but I've got a new phone and it's lost everything. Please send me a message on direct message on Twitter
That's
because
this
I
Kevin.
really want to
Kevin
talk
Alexander.
to you. Yeah, Kevin Alexander. Yeah, please send me a message, brother. But yeah, so I watched this game and obviously the atmosphere was incredible. Obviously, it was a huge game, and I just remember that game for obviously being the second game at the new stadium. For some reason, I didn't get to watch the Crystal Palace game here. I don't know. I don't think we even had Dazen then. I think Dazen came in the next whatever. And then yeah, just watching the South Stand with the common new Spurs with like the cop doesn't it? It was just a wonderful game. What a game it was as well.
It was a fantastic game, a great performance from Spurs. Really played really well in this game. Of course, Heung-Min Son gets the goal, which he typically does. That's what he does against City. I expect that honestly him to score the goal this weekend. And I have I have City winning 1-0, which we'll get to. But wonderful performance from Spurs in this game, and obviously led to us getting to the final. And
Yep.
it was a wonderful run, and this was the beginning of it. This was the first win out of what we're going to talk about, which is the last 3 times City have played us at the Lane. We've beat them every time. So it's three in a row we beat City, and this will be the 4th. And I think we both agree we're going to get that 4th win. So that's what the show is going to be about. So we're going to go over each of these games. We're talking about this one now. We're going to go over the other 2, and have a little bit of fun with it.
And if you've got anything to say in the comments, feel free to put them in, and we'll discuss them. But yeah, I mean,
Absolutely.
There's 2 things that I remember. Obviously, Hugo saving a penalty was
Yeah, that was
huge.
massive, wasn't it? Yeah.
That was huge. And people seem to think now that Hugo is a great penalty saver, which he is now. He's getting a lot better at it. But for the first 8 years, he was awful.
Yeah, he did. He did something that changed that, didn't he? And,
Yeah.
and it was sort of almost from this game or around this time moving forward. He just started to save penalties on a regular basis, which was impressive.
Exactly. I mean, Man City have been terrible at penalty. I mean, we're going to talk about another penalty they missed in the next game. But then obviously you had Heung-min Son score that goal as well, which I must admit, when I first saw it, I thought it had gone off. I thought it had gone off for a goal kick.
Yeah,
But obviously, thank God for VAR. It happened again.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
That run for VAR for us was absurd. We just kept getting it. This second leg of this, as you know, and everybody who's watching probably knows, the VAR decision on Raheem Sterling being offside, and that ended up getting us, I believe, on aggregate, we got through because they beat us. They beat us 4-3, but we got them on the away goal. So it was unreal, fantastic stuff. So that's the first game we're going to talk about. Anything you want to add to this game before we get to the other ones?
No, I mean, obviously, like I said, I mean, Sean Willisey actually went. He was in England for that game, so
was he?
He was there, and he paid way over the top. Like he paid for the top tickets to have, not like in the H Club or anything like that, but for the very, very, very good seats. And he was telling me like the atmosphere in the stadium. I mean, I still haven't. I've been round the stadium on the outside, haven't been in. And
how did you not go in if you've been around it? That makes no sense.
Because whenever I've gone back, so I
just hasn't been a game.
When I moved here to December 2017, me and Sean booked. Remember, we went out to Man U in the semi-final.
Yeah,
we booked flights home for the final just in case we got there, and then we got knocked out. So when we went to have a look at the stadium and the developments. We hadn't even moved in there yet.
Right.
Then I've been back every time I go. But obviously I won't spend money at the club or step foot in there if it means me parting with my money to go to the Parasite. So so I've got a very good look. I mean, I've seen it a couple of times when you're flying into London as well. Depending on what path you're taking, you do see it when you're coming into land at Heathrow. So or whilst you're circling. So it's always good to see it from up that high.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, it's incredible stadium. It is an incredible stadium.
Absolutely, this is a good shout from Bryce Erickson with the loose pass back. Oh my God, I honestly in that moment I was like, oh, we're out of the Champions League. Like that was the offside goal that got called back. And the look on his face when he realized he got away with it was just priceless.
To tell you the truth, it's probably because he probably had a vision of me. Because I tell you what, this is one game where for the second leg I couldn't get the time off work, so I was watching it in our canteen. I brought my iPad in. I was watching it all.
Yep.
And then literally when that goal went in, I threw my iPad, like literally launched it across the place, smashed to bits, started kicking the wall right in front of me, like literally going fucking. I was going mental. My boss and the head of Booking.com America comes in and goes, "What's the panic? What's the panic?" And they were like, "Oh, it's Brian, okay." And they just went on with their meeting. And that's kind of like, but yeah, and then my best mate called me Jerry, like I just mentioned. He's like, "Brian, you jammy gits, you're through." And I was like, "I've stopped taking the fucking piss." He's like, "No, I'm telling you, you're through." And then I had to get my phone and check you weren't lying.
Because you stopped watching. Yeah,
because I just literally launched it like across the canteen, and we're talking like a full-size cafeteria. So yeah, but that he was very lucky with that pass, because if that had gone that way, God knows what would have happened.
That's fantastic and hilarious. But it was an unreal moment, and I think most of us thought that was it. And of course, VAR saved us that run on more than one occasion. But fantastic stuff. The next game we're going to talk about, Bri, is I'm going to let you roll this out.
Yeah, Steven Bergwijn's debut.
It was Steven Bergwijn's debut, and it was another really, really good performance. It was with a manager that not everybody's completely happy with, but is no longer with us,
It
fortunately.
it was. I mean, I must admit. I mean, someone had given me a free ticket for this, but the whole reason that I was actually back in London for this game, and the reason was I think we played them on February the 2nd, and
Yep.
so February the 1st, my sister gave birth to my niece, and that's
Oh
why
yeah.
I flew out January the 29th, so I could be there for the birth. And this was obviously this was just as COVID was getting big in China before it had taken over the world. So I was always going to be there for the birth. And then, yeah, I had a free ticket. And then obviously I was like, nope, I'm seeing my niece. So I went and saw her. And then I watched the game at home at my parents' house. And then obviously I didn't even know about this Bergwijn, to be honest. When we went in for him, I hadn't even heard of him.
Yeah, he had a little bit of I knew a bit about him, but not enough. And, he played in at the time he was playing in Holland, I believe, still. So,
Yep.
good player. Very young, had a lot about him. He started so well with us too. It seemed like we had a real player on our hands. He was going to score a lot of goals, and of course, we all know what happened at Liverpool. Another thing to note in this game was that Hugo Lloris saved another penalty.
Yep.
Which would. Yeah,
Best thing about this game was Jose Mourinho running up to the linesman.
Oh yeah, fantastic
That was
stuff,
the
wasn't it?
funniest thing ever.
Yeah, for sure. Really, really fun game. Another really strong performance from a Spurs side that were way overmatched when it comes to who was on the pitch for City. And I mean, I guess you're pretty much always overmatched when you're playing for City. But in the comments, anybody who's watching, if you have any memories of this match and where you were and what you thought of the game, please feel free to chuck it in there, and we'll add it to the stream. But yeah, great performance, and again, solids. It's just being able to beat City at home. It's just there's this pattern that's happened that is obviously for us really, really good, and hopefully we get something out of it. Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I mean, well, first of all, you have to remember Mauricio Pochettino gave Pep his first loss in the English Premiership when we beat them 2-0 on
Oh yeah, that's right.
Guardiola's first season. We seem to, for some reason, we seem to have Man City's number at home now. The thing I will say with that Man City game, also Sterling took a dive after that penalty was saved and tried to get another penalty, which almost kicked off. But there was a big difference.
Yeah, right.
There was a big difference between this game we're talking about now and the game we're going to talk about after. In this game, City absolutely destroyed us. How this ended? I mean, we had defensive mistakes. Hugo rushing out. They hit the post. I think another player missed an open goal. I mean, they absolutely pummeled us. But there was that great goal from Bergwijn, unbelievable goal. And then also, obviously, Ndombele set up something for the second. But what you got to remember as well is
no Harry Kane in this game.
Harry Winks getting Zinchenko sent off because he made that run from the corner.
Right. Forgot about that.
He had a good game. That was one game he did play well in.
Yeah. We won't get into that. That's another conversation. But yeah, it did look like we were going to get spanked. Like, they just dominated us at home, and it's hard to watch that when you're especially with Mourinho as the manager. We all knew it was going to happen. He's going to sit deep. He's going to do what Mourinho does, and it's going to be torture to watch. And it certainly was. It was a difficult watch, but again, difficult, but a win nonetheless. They also City had how many chances? Like it was absurd. It was absurd the amount of chances.
If you've got the stats on here,
yeah,
it was insane. This was like, I mean, when we beat them 2-0 last season, when Jose was there, and Son scored, and then Lo Celso. That game, I didn't feel nervous at all. The team were well equipped, they were prepared, and they were doing their job. But the first game was a shit show.
Yeah. Lo Celso, man of the match in this game as well, which I didn't realize, but ran 11.78 kilometers and played more passes than any other Tottenham player. That's the Lo Celso we need to see, right? That's what we're hoping we're going to get this season. I think we spoke a little bit about this on Bobby's channel yesterday. I think it was Maury who was saying that he thinks Lo Celso is going to have one of those seasons. Let's hope so. I really do think that we need that. We need him to step up. We need that player in that midfield to really get us moving the ball properly, especially against the City side that are going to have a lot of the ball. So we're looking forward to it.
Brian. It's keeping him fit.
It is keeping him fit. Yeah, it is. I mean, Yeah, I mean that really is what it comes down to. That's with him and Undembele, it's been our issue for the last 2 seasons. We just can't keep our midfield fit, and you lose those two guys, you lose all your creativity, you lose your transition. So it's a tough one. Anything else to add to this game that we want to chat about?
No, not that I can remember. I mean, obviously we had I can't do it, but the Bergwijn, let's put our fingers and whatever that all is.
Yeah, this guy.
Yeah, that. Oh, well done.
I have no idea. He said
Yeah.
he didn't have any reason for it. He just did it. So that's
No, that's been
sounds about right.
he was doing that in Holland as well. That is his goal celebration.
I know, but he
Like
didn't say
Mbappe has that.
he said he didn't like he didn't have it didn't have a meaning.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what. Look, I'm talking about. I mean, we spoke about the Celso Bergwijn for the first few games that he was there until he got his first injury. He was phenomenal.
Yeah,
and I think he's going to be a great. I think it's a big season for him. I'm fully behind him.
I really hope so. We need him to step up. We need goals from other places. If Harry Kane's not going to be playing, of course we don't know yet. But if the chance of that is the case, then we need to find goals from other places. And he would be one of those players that gets himself into those positions on a regular basis and have the finish. And that's just it isn't good enough. Kirst says I think Kane's only ever scored against cities once. Sonny, on the other hand, 5 times. He will thrive on Sunday. Massive shout, Kirst, and absolutely true. It is. Something about it. I don't understand it. Maybe it's just fine that he's sitting on the bench this game and he doesn't play.
You know it as well. You have players like Drogba who always used to score against Arsenal.
Yeah,
you have people like Harry Kane who will always score. You have some players. I mean, Robbie Fowler, who is my favourite striker of all time. I love Robbie Fowler.
Yeah, classic.
He used to score against Leeds for fun. There were certain teams at Aston Villa. There are certain teams that players just can't stop scoring against. I don't know how it works, but they literally do it. And
I think sometimes it's just the defensive structure, the center halves that are there, and where I know if I get on this guy's left hand side, and he's got to turn the wrong way, it's going to make him really uncomfortable, and I can beat him. Those type of things, you get used to it. I played striker for most of my career of playing football, and
just the one egg.
I'm too lazy to put the other one up. My short-lived football career. But I played on the last shoulder, and if you play a team enough, and there were certain teams you play, you get used to their defense and what they're going to do, and you can expose them. And I think that comes with strikers. It's sort of what you have to do to get better. But I hope those players stand up for us this season. The two, Bergwijn and Lo Celso, both had a really good game in this match, and we need them to have those types of games on a regular basis this season for us to get anywhere and to start. People for us to take ourselves seriously, and for them other teams to take us seriously as well. They're gonna have to make a difference. So let's hope that is the case. Now, the most recent game we played against Manchester City was last season. Brad, you want to chat about?
Yeah, I think if I remember, it was about October, November time.
Yep.
It was just as we were going into a little purple patch of some kind of form, and you know what? Well, we went 1-0 up so early when Ndombele's very, very quick thinking put Son through.
5 minutes in,
I mean, Ndombele still was so quickly that the cameraman couldn't catch up with it because we didn't get to see it apart from when the ball was rolling into the net because it moved so quickly. And from that moment, I just didn't see us conceding. The defense looked absolutely
solid,
and they just knew what they were doing. It looked like Jose had finally got through to them.
This was the best we ever played under Jose Mourinho for me. This game, like when we were thinking about how Jose Mourinho liked to play, this is the best we ever played. It was so clinical, Jose. It was like, and did it in not only did we score first and early, we also scored a second. And
shot 22.
Yeah, 22 shots to 4, 749 touches to 493, 599 to 318. It's just absurd. A big thing to look at here is this one here, the stat here, 25 to 13 in favor of us in tackles. Massive. That's massive. And of course, they're on the front foot, so that's an inevitability. But of course, clearances here is also going to be a scenario where they've had 10 corners. Of course, we're going to have 30 clearances if they have 10 corners. Fouls conceded 19. We made them really uncomfortable in this game, and won it. I think probably the best game we played under Mourinho. Anybody in the comments? What are your thoughts on this game, and how did you feel about this performance, this Mourinho performance again from a team that was really hard to watch, but did really well in this case?
You know my favourite moment of this match, and it
What's
wasn't
that?
any of the goals. And there's a certain lady in the comments that will be very very happy with what I'm about to say, because her feelings for this man is just like my feelings for this man. And it is what's that, Ronan?
Oh, bro.
It's the Terminator. It's Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. Um,
Yeah, good
and
shot, good shot.
what it was, that's probably why 23 of those 25 tackles were probably from him. Um, and what I loved about this game, do you remember this is the first time we saw it where he ushered the ball out for a goal kick, and it was like he just scored the winning goal in a World Cup. He was like
Yeah,
celebrating by himself.
he got
Like
right
I was
into it,
like,
didn't he?
I was like, he's having a little moment. But that's what we just love about this man.
Yeah,
It's what we
fantastic.
love about this man. And as long as he's there, you know your defense is going to have at least the protection. And we're expecting big things. So that was my favourite moment of that entire game. That was my favourite moment of the entire game.
It did for me solidify what I think, and many of us have said, who should be our future captain. The way he led on that pitch, the way he was just bossed all over the place. Probably all of those tackles we saw were mostly him. Like he
Yep.
just because he just cut out everything they tried to do. It was incredible, and we were clinical when we needed to be. And I think Mourinho or otherwise, I think you just have to be that way against City. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who's your manager and the normal style of play you're going to have. You're not going to touch a lot of the ball because they're so good at passing the ball and keeping the ball
Yep.
that you inevitably have to find a way to beat them. And an early goal like that, and then being able to do what Mourinho does so well, unfortunately. Worked really well in this game, but you shouldn't be doing it against the Burnleys and the of the world and other teams
Exactly.
that don't play that way. So worked really well in this game, and it was a proud moment. I thought this was just before I think we went up to first in the league as well. It was in November,
Yep.
and we were playing really well, and I was like, man, this could work. And we all know what happened.
Build up
We all,
to
we all know what
Arsenal,
happened after that.
Chelsea. It was like the whole thing was coming together, and then obviously it all went south from January onwards, should we say?
Yeah, Sean says Mike Dean was the referee again, closet Spurs fan. Yeah, probably. Whatever. You got to take help wherever you can get it, Sean.
Oh, please tell me, Brian, you've seen the Mike Dean celebrating a Spurs goal.
I have, of course, I have. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
mate, Mr. Dembele, that's the greatest thing when he's going
It's
like that.
fantastic.
It's
Yeah.
honestly, there's one thing that's better than that, and it's not Spurs related. Have you seen the Rafa Benitez Magic Man?
I'm not sure that I have actually. I think I've
Okay.
heard about it. I don't know if I've seen it yet.
Everyone
Yeah.
needs to Google Rafa Benitez Magic Man, because you know when it goes like when you're watching on Sky and it says Rafa Benitez manager or whatever, he goes like this, and as Sky are doing it, it zooms off Rafa Benitez as he's doing it. It literally goes across the screen as he's moving his arm. It's absolutely brilliant. It's one of the best things you'll see. I wish we could play it, maybe a copyright strike.
No, we can't do that.
I know. But yeah,
Yeah.
Rafa Benitez Magic Man. But yeah, here we go into this season. I'm happy we got the first game of the season.
Yeah, I think it's a great time to play them. I think if we were playing in the middle of the season and they had an opportunity to put themselves in a more comfortable position, their fitness was there, their fitness at the moment, and I mean I think ours is relatively good, other than maybe a couple players here and there with the knock, but yeah, it's a perfect time to play them. They're going to be. Is De Bruyne fit? I don't even know
Nope.
if I've checked that or not.
I don't believe he's playing. I don't believe he's playing. I don't believe Foden's playing. I don't believe Walker's playing.
No, oh wow, that's huge. Yeah, I know Foden's injured for a bit too, so he's going to be
Yeah.
out for I think until I'm just going to bring it up here. I think he's going to be out till October or something like that. So pretty nasty for him, and a bit unfortunate for them. But at the same time, I don't really care.
Exactly.
Makes me happy.
Exactly. Did you watch Nuno's press conference today?
I did actually, yeah, I did, and I quite like him in the media. I don't know about you, but I really enjoyed it. I thought he spoke really well. I thought he said the right things when asked the questions that were inevitably going to be uncomfortable about Kane. I'm excited about it. He just seems like he knows exactly what he wants to do, and what we should expect from the team. So yeah, what were your thoughts?
I found him more engaging. I mean, a cardboard cutout is more engaging than Ryan Mason in press conferences. But literally, I think he came across well, but he needs to work on his deflecting away from questions, because he just went back to the we work, we come and we work, we come and we work, and we have work. So he's got. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not his first language, but he is fluent in English. But he Pochettino, when he was like, and we can always go back to Pochettino, he would deflect things with such grace and such. And you'd be like, "Oh, Poch said that's so nice," and you'd even forget it. But it was just like, "We come to work. We do the training tomorrow, and we do it." And it was like, every day we work, every day we talk. I was like, "Yeah, you can't say that for everything."
Yeah, I think the issue there, and we all know, is that it's a new appointment,
Yep.
and he still doesn't know his squad really. Like with the transfer window still open for till the end of the month, that it's awkward. Like there's certain things he can't say, and certain players he can't talk about until he knows his squad. So it's just sort of trying to keep it as vague as possible. It's boring, when it comes. It's deadly boring when it comes down to it, but it's what you'd expect in these situations. I'm not surprised that that's how he's speaking, and I again, he reminds me of Pochettino, to be honest, and I think in a good way, which is a positive thing. Hal Perry says this is the perfect time to play him. Absolutely, that's what I was saying. Absolutely is the perfect time to play him. People are like, "Oh, you got to play the champions in the first game of the season." Yeah, but they're not prepared. Nobody's prepared on the first game of the season like they're going to be mid season when they've got a run on or whatever it is that some form that they've developed. So
You got to remember as well, Man City are coming to us, and they have no idea how we're going to play. It's not like
that's
they're coming in and it's Mourinho and okay, Mourinho does this, Mourinho does that. Okay, I know the
such a good
starting
shout.
11. He. No one has got a clue. I mean, even us. But I will just quickly talk very, very quickly about the parasite. Just very, very quickly.
Oh
'Cause,
gosh, here we go. We didn't do
no,
a
no,
rant
it's not.
today. We
No,
didn't
it's
do a
not.
rant
It's
today.
not. No, it's
He's
not.
gonna squeeze one in now.
Oh
So
no, the rant will start next week.
yeah.
After whatever happens next week. But he's already started making it. He's given everyone a free flag when we go into the ground, so we can wave them all nicely and make it a big atmosphere. And I'm like, there you go. You're trying to deflect. Here you go. This is what's going to make up for 20 years of neglect. A flag. A flag. That's what you're going to do. I'm sure he's shitting bricks, and I hope he's really shitting bricks because that's what I'm really looking forward to. I'm looking forward because I've been fighting that there's going to be quite a bit of more than yes. I mean, obviously there's going to be a lot more people than was there at the Villa game, but there's going to be some commotion there with Levy out.
There will be for sure. I'm gonna avoid talking about it. I'm gonna
Oh yeah,
try to enjoy the football. I've
yep,
been waiting for Premier League football with fans to come back since this COVID madness started, and I just want to see what happens on the pitch. I want to see what Nuno does for shape, and I want to get into that conversation with you as well. Like, how do you think we're going to play? Is he going to play three at the back now that we've got more players in? Do you think he's going to stick with the 4-3-3? Let's start with that. Where do you think? How do you think he's going to line up against the City team? And we'll get into sort of the battles on the pitch and what parts of the field that we're going to need to sort of step up our game. But let's start with the formation. What do you think? How do you see us? How do you see us setting up against City?
I can only see 4-3-3, and the only reason I can see that is because if he was going to try anything else, he would have done it against Chelsea or Arsenal to try it out. You wouldn't have just been training all this in one way.
Yeah, I
just
agree.
to say, yeah, well, we've trained that. I can see you can do that, but now we're going to do this. I think he's already knows the team. I know he's saying he's going to give Kane a training session and then analyse him. I don't want Kane on the pitch, at least to start from the beginning.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
have him on the bench if he's fit. Have him on the bench. He shouldn't be in this team to start. It would remind me of what happened in cup finals when he shouldn't have been playing and he started and he wasn't fit.
Exactly.
It's sort of the same idea. He just shouldn't just start because he's there. He should be ready to play.
Well, the whole narrative becomes about him. It's the Kane final. It's the Kane game. It's the Kane
Exactly.
this.
Yeah.
And we don't need that. We don't need that. And like I said,
yeah. Go on.
no, I was about to say, if Harry Kane had been 100% fit and hadn't come back late from the Euros, which he was entitled to do, and then been in America and then Barbados, and I didn't even know this, and I heard it from the We Are Tottenham TV boys when they were doing their streams. Do you know when he was in the Bahamas, he was on?
Yeah, he was on Levy's boat.
No, he was on Joe Lewis's.
Not
the boat. He was on their hotel complex.
Right, that's what it was. Yeah.
So it's like, oh yeah, things are going really bad. But yeah, it's like I wouldn't play him because he's just not 100% fit.
I also think
Nuno.
I think Hal Perry makes a good shout here, and I've heard other people talk about this. Be curious to what you think. I don't think Kane gets in this team at all. If you think of the 4-3-3 that we've seen in the preseason, Kane doesn't press anymore. He doesn't run like he used to run. He's not the player that he was under Pochettino when he first sort of broke through. Does Kane get in this team for you? Not the way we played in the preseason. He'd have to change the structure completely to put Kane in the team, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you remember Pochettino didn't do this with Kane, and then when we lost Eriksen, Mourinho
Yeah.
saw that we had to do this with Kane.
We needed
had
a
to do
10,
it
yeah.
because we needed a 10, we needed a 9,
Yep.
and I mean, we'd seen in the seasons when he'd been the Pochettino Kane, his eye for a pass is second to none.
It's ridiculous.
He really has got a passing range like no other. And Jose Mourinho does what big managers do and saw it and utilised it and did it. Now, for him to fit in a 4-3-3 for Nuno, you need to put him back to the Pochettino. Right, you're pressing, you're doing this. But I just don't think he's got. Yeah, he's been so overplayed. He's been so overplayed, and I just don't think. I just don't think he's got the stamina anymore, especially with his ankle injuries. I don't know. I don't know how you do it. I mean, I've been saying it for the whole time with this whole saga. We need to start thinking about the future, not the now.
Yeah, I agree. Sean sort of adding to this conversation. Just want to chuck in his comment here. Cheers for the comment, Sean. I like the way Nuno appears to look at the team and play to our strengths rather than try and change the way players want to play. It's 100% true. Nuno has got a structure in this team, and you could see it, especially in those last 2 games against Chelsea, Arsenal. The 4-3-3, the players and the way what he wants them to do. It's very specific. Harry Kane hasn't done any of that. He hasn't played in any of that. He hasn't even barely trained in it. So why would you bring a player like that into a scenario that he isn't remotely close to understanding what it is expected of him?
Exactly. And then listen, there's a lot of talk that this is now going to go through next week. If it does go through next week, what I will say, we will be doing a show. And believe me, you will want to cover your ears because I will be going absolutely.
The rant will happen.
Be more than a rant because of what he said, and this is the last thing I mentioned about him, and I mean it. He said that he won't sell to a Premier League club, and then what's he going to do? He just literally, it's like literally. I mean, this guy can literally get away with slapping people's mothers and getting away with it. He can do no wrong to people, and I don't know how many more lies he has to take when it comes to selling players at the wrong time. For Shane. For it to happen, but that's enough of my Levy rant because the Premiership's back and let's talk Tottenham.
yeah, come on, mate. It's hard not to, I know, but I do think the Kane saga, the situation with Harry Kane, needs to be dealt with. And again, this is my biggest issue with it. Whatever we're going to do, we need to make a decision. I don't really care if he's with us anymore. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know he's the best striker on the planet, but I'd rather move on than continue to have this conversation over and over again. You know, I get asked from my the lads on the North End podcast and the YouTube channel that they keep asking me, "Oh, like what's happening with Kane? What's gonna?" Stop talking about it. Nothing's happening until something happens. You know what's the acronym? Not till he's in the shirt.
Till they hold the shirt.
Till they hold the shirt up. Yeah, like that. You know, until that happens. I don't care. I just what I care about is what's going to happen on the pitch and the players who are going to show up on Sunday and play for the badge. That's what I care about.
Yes, I mean, as you know, I said from the start of this, when he handed in the request or said he wants to leave, I said he was going. I've been waiting for it to happen, so it's not going to be a shock. But it's just it just needs to be dealt with.
And on that note, let's move on from talking about it.
Yeah, let's do it.
So let's talk about the players on the pitch that are going to be there. Where do you think is key for Spurs to get anything out of this game on Sunday against a city team that we both know aren't going to be at full strength, but are still going to be really difficult to play against? You know, where do you think we can get at them?
So the General, the Terminator, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg has honestly,
Captain Højbjerg.
Yeah, you can't.
He sounds like a fucking superhero, doesn't he?
No, he is. He is a superhero. Because literally, I keep saying, I swear to God, he's like Arnold Schwarzenegger. If he had to do a drug test and they cut his arm, it would just be metal in there. Excuse me. But yeah, I think he's got a huge battle to play because obviously, if De Bruyne's not there as well, and it doesn't matter how good Man City are, they are a completely different animal with De Bruyne in that team. Completely.
So who plays in their defensive midfield row? Is it Rodri, right?
Fernandinho.
Fernandinho is 34.
312 last time I checked.
Yeah. He looks like he's growing a long beard that drags along when he's running. No, it seems to me like we should be able to be confident in that midfield. I think, especially with when in a 4-3-3 shape, it's different than what City are used to us doing with the players we have, and I think we'll be pretty comfortable. But I think Rodri, if he's fit as well, do they have anybody you're worried about with their fitness situation? Other than, if De Bruyne plays, then it's always the player you're looking at. But no, I don't know what Sterling's fitness is going to be like coming from the Euros. There's a lot of players that are just not going to be there or ready. And I mean, I guess arguably you could say the same about our players too. But I'm not worried about this game. I'm not. It honestly just seems to me like it's going to be set up for us to get another win at home.
Well, I actually think two of the key players that I think are going to have huge games are Sergio Reguilon, who I
Yeah.
think, I mean, we saw against Arsenal. Yeah, it was only snippets, but when he was doing that run at the end in the 89th minute or whatever to get that shot away, that was the Sergio we signed, not the Sergio we signed off with.
Yeah, he looked good, didn't he? He's been especially that Arsenal game looked really sharp.
He looked very. I mean, just when you've got Sergio, who we all knew when we signed him, was all about the attacking and all about his pace and utilising it. We seem to kind of take that away from him and say, right, you stay back, you stay back, you stay back. And Lucas, I'm absolutely in love with Lucas at the moment.
He has a role to play, I think, as well. I think down that side of the pitch, if he's playing on the right hand side, which we'd expect, and what he's done in the preseason for creative passing. His passing has been from nowhere, sort of like where did that come from? Just through the lines, breaking the lines. Even if he's dribbling, breaking the lines, he's just creating a ton. It's been fantastic to watch. I agree with you. Really, really excited to see what he's going to do this season.
Oh, but big time. I mean, the thing with Lucas is we saw when you see him running, he's got pace and he can just skin you alive. But what we saw was his final decision, his shot or his final pull was just like, what the hell is that? But there's a few passes he's played in pre-season, especially the goal, the assist for Son at Leyton Orient. I think it was Leyton Orient. Was it Colchester? Okay, Dodds.
Was it the assist because there was a pass to Sonny that I thought where he breaks past a guy, pushes the ball around him, and then runs around the other side of him, pushes it up to Sonny, and then Sonny passes it for Dele, and Dele pops it in.
That's in the same game. That's in the same game.
Ridiculous.
He's definitely worked on his passing. I don't know what it is that's done it. I don't know if it was when Jose put him at number 10 and he had that little flourish. But he looks, excuse me.
Trying to keep Brian awake here for the two Brians.
I don't know why I've said that. I don't know why I've said it's 7:41 here in the evening, and I'm like ready to go to bed. It's like literally his passing has been absolutely exquisite.
It really has. Scott M says this, and I don't know if I agree with him, but it's a fair show because the teams are a little bit better. But he says Lucas passing in the preseason came from playing League One teams. He didn't look good against Chelsea or Arsenal. I mean, I agree that it certainly looked better against the League One teams. I still think he played a pretty good role in what we did against Chelsea and Arsenal. But yeah, it does come. It does. The opposition matters. It matters who we're playing, and so that will come in handy for some of the lower league teams, and hopefully he can still put up some numbers, some assist numbers and some goal numbers, because he hasn't really done that. He's been living off the Champions League semifinal for the last 2 seasons, so we need to see more from him. And what we've seen from him so far looks like he's at least improving in those areas and making better decisions.
So what I will say on that is, I did get to watch the Chelsea game because of work commitments. I got to see the second half, but I was in a meeting for the first half. But I did see all the Arsenal game, and I thought he was very, very good against Arsenal. Very good against Arsenal.
I thought he was good too as well. I mean, not as clinical or as effective as he was against those other teams. And it's a fair shout. What Sean said is that, yeah, I mean that makes sense that he's not going to be as good, but he still made a difference, and he still was he was thinking about doing the same stuff and being creative. So I want to get to Hal Perry's comment here. This could be a crucial game for Dele, because this should show where his head is at, if he's ready to make a difference with this team, or same old Dele. I'm arguably Dele starts, right? Because we've seen him the whole preseason. He started in that left-hand side of the 3 in the midfield. I can't see Nuno changing that. I do think we're going to go into this game with basically the same starting 11 that we saw with maybe one or two players popping in there. Maybe we'll see Romero, but I doubt it because it seemed to me, based on Nuno in his press conference, that he isn't necessarily ready to put him in yet. It might be too soon because he's just coming back from an injury. Dele's. What do you think his role will be in this game, if any? Or will he just be what Hal suggested, the same old Dele?
Well, like I said, if I had my opinion, it would be get Dele by the hair, swing him round by one of his dreads, and wherever I throw him and he lands, he stays. I'm just done with this guy. I'm just done with it. I'd love him to prove me wrong. I'd love him to prove me wrong. But I'm just sick and tired of the, oh, this is a Dele we know. Oh, look at his six-pack. Oh, look at him touch his hair. Oh, look at him touch his cap. Oh, look, he's hit the post when he should have scored. No, I'm absolutely done with him. Do you know what? I think of all teams, Man City, if he doesn't turn up, he's going to get found out very, very quickly.
Absolutely, he'll get skinned. He'll be
skinned
embarrassed for sure.
And with Romero, I don't want him played. I do not like when we've rushed Kane back. If he's come back from an injury, we've just invested, or we haven't spent yet, but we're buying him for like £50-odd million. He's been at the Copa America. He's been on holiday, and he's still. Mate, listen, if we have to take a loss or not get a win for every game that he's gone, fine. Come back when you're 100% fit and ready to go, so you don't come in and just pull up very, very quickly.
Yeah, I'm worried about that with Romero too, and I think that because Man City are so that when it comes to their starting 11, they've got a lot of players out that we can get away with playing. I mean, it's tough to even say it because I don't really want to say it out loud. But we can get away with playing Sanchez and Dyer in the back. Oh God.
Well, do you know what? I mean,
it hurts saying that
as well. There's Roden, I
don't think Roden's played one game in the preseason though.
He played 14 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Barely even kicked a ball. So he's not starting. It's Dele and Sanchez who would start, or not Dele, sorry, Dyer and Sanchez who would start, based on what we've seen so far. Unless Romero really impresses in training, and he's like just get him in there, and that's risky certainly if he's not 100% fit. But I do think if there's a game you can get away with it. It might be this game because of the fitness of City and where they're at. So we might get away with it in that case. And this would be the game to do it potentially. But it's saying that is making me sad in that we haven't dealt with that situation properly yet. It really comes down to we need to do something about managing the outs and getting the right player to partner with Romero, and then potentially even another one to replace the Dyers and the Sanchez's of the world that need to go.
I'm thinking, Brian, actually talking about that with transfer, what we might do, I think we could do a transfer deadline special, mate. I could bring my tablet to yours. I've got Sky Sports News. We can have that on the go, and then if anything comes on, we can jump on live.
Sky Sports News transfer special, yeah. With what? With for Spurs? Like,
yeah, for Spurs.
Nothing's gonna happen. Which is gonna be you and I doing this the whole time.
Well, we'll see. I mean, if anything breaks out, we can do it. Obviously, Matty Hayes will be all over that.
Maybe we can do a Matty Hayes special, and we can have him on the channel, and we can do it with him. That might be the way to go.
That would be.
Matty's a friend of the channel, so maybe that's something we'll talk to him about. But it would be good fun for sure. I do think I want to bring up Heung-min Son because we have talked about him in the previous 3 games and his influence. 5 goals he's scored against Manchester City. He will be the difference in this match for me as long as he gets service he needs, and we have some attacking threat going forward. If he can get in behind their defense, he does it every time. Doesn't matter how good their defense is, doesn't matter who's playing for them. He gets in behind and he always finishes. So for me, Heung-min Son will be.
You've done that 3 times now.
His stupid name is stuck in my head. Stop it, Dele. Get out of my head. Leave our club.
What I say with Heung-min Son, I mean, he's just a different class, not just as a player, as a human. The way he's improved as well. I mean, nothing will sum it more than when we watched the North London derby this year. We beat them 2-0 and he scored that goal. You know, when you see those ones where they're about to take a shot from stupid long, you're like, what the fuck it? And you're like, oh, what a goal!
Exit top corner.
Yeah, I told you you should have shot. I told you should have done that. He has got so. I mean, I always have found, apart from last season, which he did a little bit, but he's worked on it a lot. There were so many times when he passes when he should shoot and shoot when he should pass, and he does it. He used to
He
do it.
fixed that problem big time.
He does it. He used to do it a hell of a lot. But do you know what I love about him is when he came back from this summer, wherever he'd been, he walked through that door. There's the picture or the video of him, and he looked the most grumpiest. And you're like,
Yeah, he did,
whoa,
didn't he?
whoa,
Look
whoa, whoa. You're
miserable.
like, whoa, 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 whoa. When
That
you
doesn't
see
look good.
sun like that, something's got to be wrong. From what you hear around the stadium and what you hear about within the club, and then I've watched 2 videos over the last couple of days, and one yesterday was them at training, and all you can hear is son pissing himself with laughter. It's all you can hear. He is
He's infectious, right?
oh, he's unbelievable. And then the one I watched today, I don't know if many people have seen it. It's on YouTube again. It's Media Day, where they get all the kit launches and doing their stuff for their green screen for when Sky Sports News or Sky Sports have them on, or BT or whatever. So doing all their media work, and it says Sonny causes chaos, and he's just going around pranking about,
Yeah, just
and
having fun.
everyone just literally adores him.
There's some people, Bri, who think that that's problematic and that they're not being serious enough and that they should be more focused on tactics and that they're not preparing themselves for the season. And I'm of the mind that that some of that's true, but a 30-second video doesn't tell you that they're not doing that. It just tells you that there's a good squad togetherness that we haven't seen in a long time. That I really like to see. For me, that's the thing that's been missing since Poch left. Was that not even since Poch left, since Poch's like last season and a half
Yeah.
when he sort of lost the dressing room. There was 2 seasons there where it was just everybody was in it together and it felt amazing to watch, to be a part of the club. And that's starting to you sort of saw that a little bit in this case. I'm not saying it's the same as when Poch had it rolling, but it certainly has the same vibe to it, and I'm excited about that.
Yes, I mean, put it this way: the way I work, when I was working at Booking.com and I was a team leader, I had 28 people reported into me. The managers and the teams either side of me used to go mad because I used to let my team not do whatever they want, but I always worked better. I was one of those people that if you give me confidence and let me be me, I will work, and you make me enjoy my job, I will give you everything. So I used to literally say, listen, if you come into work happy and I can make your time of work happy, all I want to do is hear you laughing and shouting, or well, not shouting, but I mean, having fun. You don't have to speak like you're in a library or anything. And I used to have challenges with them. I had one challenge, and my wife wasn't pleased with me, where I said, listen, there's 38 teams, or I think it was 38 teams at Booking.com in my office. I was like, if we get number 1 in customer satisfaction, I will each allow you to put a different color in a hat. I will pull it out and I'll dye my hair that color.
Nice.
And we got number 1 in the office, and the person that picked the color was a luminous green. So I had to have a luminous green hair dye for a month at Christmas.
A whole month.
I did it for a whole month. My wife, believe me, my wife wasn't. When I told her about this challenge, she was not happy at all. And then when I came back and told her luminous green, she was not even. She was less happier. And then she did it. And then, but like I said, I mean, what I'm getting at is it made my team want to have fun. They used to come. We were so close, and that's the thing. If
camaraderie, right? You got to build camaraderie within the team.
Yeah, it's like I was lucky at that job. I used to love going into work. It weren't even a chore for me. I used to go to work 2 hours early, come home. I used to love being there. And it's like, if it's a happy environment that you're in, some people report, like with feedback, like some people will deal with a Poch arm around the shoulder, and some others will respond to a absolute. Let's see if I've got it.
Just nuts. We'll have to get some pics there, Brian. I'll have to share them.
I'm checking right now.
I do want to get a question from Hal that he put in here. Do you guys think Sonny can battle for a golden boot? That's a tough one, mate. I have to. It's hard because if there's no Harry Kane, then possibly, because that means that he's the the guy that they're going to get the ball to try to score. I mean, they already do that to some extent, but Harry Kane is obviously on the end of a lot of it as well. How many goals did he have last season? Was it 15, 16, 17? He's in the conversation, certainly, but it does depend on how we play and our midfield and service, and there's a lot of things, but he has the ability. It does come down to service, I think, though.
I think this all deploys. I think this all comes into play as well, and we're not going to get into that conversation. But if Kane goes and we do use him more regularly up top, and Nuno even said he will be using him more attackingly, then he has got.
He did say he'll be playing up there.
He's got the pace, and that's where Hill could come in. But also, I mean, we look like we're going for, I can't say his name again, the Fiorentina dude. It looks like they're
Valahovic,
exactly. You can't say
Vahalovic.
it well.
I was
Delhi. Let's
close.
call him Delhi because you
Let's call
call
him
him.
Deli. It's easier that way. Yeah. You'll know who I'm talking about. That
So we've gone for him as well, and apparently we've gone for Milinkovic as well. Now, obviously, I'm
like to
still.
see Milinkovic come in would be a great partner with Romero.
Well, it looks like now that we've finally given up on Tomiyasu over 2 million.
Who knows what's going on there?
Over £2 million, which probably means he'll arrive next week. But yeah, there's things coming on. So I just reckon with a brand new manager, and the one thing is, if and when he goes, and I'm saying when, it's going to be refreshing that we're just not reliant on Harry Kane. Yes, it's always great to know you've got that 30-goaler striker, and like Shearer was for Blackburn and
I think
Newcastle.
I think what you're talking about is not building your team around one player, but building a
Exactly.
team that play together as a team. I think
Exactly.
that's kind of the important thing. Just to note, Sean Snow, thanks for the stat there. And this was something that concerned me last season, and I don't know what happened exactly, but Heung-min Son scored 14 goals in the first half of the season when him and Harry Kane were just insane together. It was just goal after goal after goal. Broke the record. I think it was Lampard and Drogba's record before.
Yeah.
And 3 goals in the second half. So he kind of fell off quite a bit in the second half. Harry Kane only got injured in that second half for like 4 weeks, 3-4 weeks. It was a short injury for Harry this season, not a long one like he usually has. And it was just it was a difficult one because I'd be a bit nervous to say that is he going to get a golden boot if he's that inconsistent. It really does depend on how we're playing. Like you said, if we're playing as a team and there's a structure there and there's a way of playing, an expectation of the whole team, rather than just relying on Harry Kane dropping deep and sending Kane past the last man in behind, then I think there's more. I think he can be more consistent in that team than he is when he's just relying on Kane getting in the ball.
I mean, I'll add to that. I mean, the thing is, well, you got to remember 4 of those 14 were in the second game of the season against Southampton. But the thing is, again, and I use this terminology with Kane and with Son, they are overplayed and undervalued.
Yeah, I would agree with that. They're both overplayed
because
too,
they literally burn out because they just do not get a chance to rest because we do not have the players to drop them. Or not drop them, sorry, rotate. Never drop them, but rotate to give them that rest. They don't need to play every single game. Kevin De Bruyne doesn't play every game for Manchester City.
I mean, I don't know if you can compare that because they have the money to have the depth in squad. Although they had the smallest squad in the Premier League.
Yeah, but you know,
which is crazy.
These other players, like even some other big teams like Manchester United and Chelsea, they don't play their stars every single game. They rotate to keep like Poch did with Davies and Rose and Walker and Trippier.
Yeah,
they literally used
rotate
to make sure
every
they kept fresh
week in, week out. Yeah,
exactly, and that's what you need to do with these big stars. They're humans; they're not machines. Apart from Højbjerg.
Yeah, exactly. There's a couple that are machines, but Højbjerg in particular. Reload XXXXX. Thanks for being here, buddy. Always good to see you. Son's extremely streaky, and if you analyze how many of his goals were either an equalizer or a game winner, it doesn't look as good. Not all goals are equal in value. Yeah, I mean that's true, but you don't really know the value of the goal when you score it. So sometimes you can score first, and then it can seem incredibly valuable, and then the rest of the team shits the bed and you end up losing. So I don't know if that's necessarily the best way to analyze the value of a goal. I mean, I do recognize a game winner at crucial time is an important thing that you can measure, but sort of the rest of it can become subjective or difficult to understand based on the flow of the game and how it's going. Hal Perry says, so where and how does Scarlett? Oh, this is a good question. I like this one because he is in the squad. He's in the 25-man squad for Spurs. I'd like to see him get a shout. Like I'd like to see him on the bench. I'd like to see him coming on for the last 15-20 minutes, doing like getting a chance to show what he can do because there's a player there. I know he's super young, and maybe I'm jumping the gun with him, and sometimes that can be bad for a player. But I just something about him that I think I'd like to see him play more. And we went through this last season as well. We all wanted to see more of him. What are your thoughts on Scarlett? Do you want to see more of him?
Yeah, I mean, you've known since we've done this stream, and I say it whenever we talk about this dude. I've said it time and time again. This guy's going to be better than Michael Owen. This is how big this guy is, and we know what Michael Owen was doing at this age. He is that good. He really is.
He really does look like it, doesn't he?
That good. And this is why I'm really hoping I think he'll be in around I think he'll be around the team. He'll be on the bench all the time now. I don't see him going back to under 23s or wherever he is. But what I do see is him playing every single game of the conference, wherever it may be, and however long we're in it for. And that will breathe the confidence to start bringing him into the Worthington. Jesus Christ, how long ago was that? Carabao Cup. And I think he'll gradually start coming in. I absolutely adore him. Absolutely adore him.
Yeah, I love the way the style of play. He's actually physically bigger than I thought he was when I saw him play the last game. I was like, wow, he's bigger and stronger than I thought he was. At 17, I mean, he's going to look like quite a bit like a Lukaku or a Drogba. He's going to be really strong and difficult to play against. So I'm looking forward to that.
Well, just as well, you're looking at it as well with him. He is just. You see in the Europa League when he came on for 5 or 10 minutes, he caused pandemonium. In those 5-10 minutes, like he came on, he had a shot, he got an assist, he caused havoc around that box, and he really is going to be. He is smashing records in whatever team or whatever game he's playing for the Spurs, under 23s, under 7, whatever he is.
Yeah, he's always their best player if he's not playing in the first team. He's
him
like
and Alfie Divide are the big ones.
Yeah, 100%. Wayne Bonner, cheers, Wayne. Good to see you here,
buddy. What's up, Wayne,
buddy? Scarlet will be used in cups in Europe and a few minutes here and there in the league to gain experience and build the game. Yeah, which is what I think. This is my point. Is I want to see that.
Yeah,
I don't want to see him rot on the bench like we've seen. You know, Mourinho said last season, "Oh, he's incredible, but would bring him on for 2 minutes at the end of the game." I'm like, that isn't useful. Like, I get it that you're like you think he's incredible, but play him for 15 minutes. Let him actually show what he's got, not just fucking chuck him on for the last 10 minutes. It's stupid. That is often what would happen with Mourinho when he was with us. Hal Perry says that is the way the Kane was used too. Yeah, exactly. And but Kane got a shot. You know, when there was a key injury, Kane came in and played, and he was ready. He was ready. He had played a bunch of Europa League games. He had scored in the Europa League. He was consistently with the squad and should have. It was done right
he'd also gone out on loan about 4 or 5 times.
There's also that. Yeah.
So I don't see us doing that with Scarlett. I just don't see us doing with it.
I don't think you need to. I don't think I think he's way ahead of Kane was at that age.
Oh well, I mean, if you listen to Tommy as well, because Tommy used to do a bit of scouting and with Harry Kane, they didn't initially. Spurs didn't see what they are seeing now. But apparently his application, his dedication, and his commitment, like you hear the Ronaldo does and whatever. And he was willing to go on these loans and willing to do all this to get to where he is. Mm-hmm. Whereas he had to work on it. Whereas Scarlett's just got that raw. Like I said, I mean, Michael Owen and Robbie Fowler. I mean, like I said, Robbie Fowler is one of my favourite strikers of all time. I love Robbie Fowler. Absolutely adore him. And when he burst onto the scene, especially scoring the quickest ever hat-trick against Arsenal and always scoring hat-tricks against Arsenal, it was just raw talent. It was just raw talent, and that's what Scarlett's got.
Yeah, for sure. Athelstan Edwardson says, thing is though, by this time at 17 years old, Michael Owen was already scoring for England. Yep. Absolutely true. Maybe if players are good enough, they should be old enough. I like that argument. I do think that this idea that he's only 17 it doesn't matter how old he is. Is he good enough? Play him. I think he is. I think he's good enough to be playing in some of these games, coming off the bench when needed, or in some of the bigger games that are like the cup games, the FA Cup and the League Cup. I just think it's time. Just do it anyway. Pull the trigger. We've got him in our academy or through our academy and in our ranks. Let's do it.
What I would say to that as well is if you look at it as well, especially if you put in Liverpool, for instance, they have a history and a long history of bringing youngsters through. You just got. I mean, you got Owen, Fowler, Gerrard. They've just done this time McManaman. They have no problem. Trent Alexander-Arnold. They have these players. When they find these gems, they will put them in. They really are like that. If you're young enough, you're good enough. But they have players that are standing out. Where I just think we've been hampered by this whole Harry Kane's fit, Harry Kane plays.
Yeah, it's kind of mucking with us, isn't it?
Whereas it's not helped us, but also we've stopped giving. I won't say we've stopped giving youth a chance, but if you look at it, Harry Kane is the last big one. All right, you can say Harry Winks.
Well, Skip's there. Skip's got to be.
Skip's coming through now.
Yeah, it's a while.
Skip is coming through now.
It's a while.
But yeah, he's another one that I can't wait to see this season. I cannot wait.
Yeah, for sure. He's been brilliant in the preseason. Okay, so we're an hour and 10 minutes in. I'm going to drop the link into the chat. If anybody wants to join us, please do. If you want to hop on and have your say and have a chat about what you think is going to happen on Sunday, please join us. If you don't, we're just going to keep rambling and eventually shut it down if we don't get anybody to join us. But we'd love to have you on if you're feeling like hopping on and hanging out with us for a bit. Yeah, so who else do we want to talk about for Sunday's game? Lloris starts probably, right? Is Lloris over or the new keeper whose name I randomly just forgot? Galini, thank you.
Deli, we'll call him Deli.
Deli, everybody's Deli. I'm at the cottage, man. I'm so chill. I'm like, it's.
So no, I mean, don't get me wrong. Lloris will start. Lloris is the number one, but I must say, I'm honestly, Galini's coming for his shirt. This isn't a number two like Joe Hart.
He's not, is he? He was a number one where he was, right, at Atalanta.
He is here for the shirt, and I honestly think he's going to take it. I honestly think he's going to take it, whether it's through Lloris picking up an injury or a suspension, or he has a dip in form. But I think if we swap the goalkeeper at one point during this season, that will be it.
Yeah, I think that's a good shout, and I completely agree. I can't actually see if Lloris loses it, him getting it back, especially with 1 year left on his contract. It's sort of it's an inevitability. You know, we had a conversation on a previous pod or show. I don't remember which one it was, but when we were talking about what we thought we needed, one of the things that positions we needed to address, I specifically said goalkeeper, and a lot of people said, "Oh no, it's not a priority," and I'm pretty sure it is, and I'm really glad that was addressed. I think that's going understated when you think about Lloris. I think he's been with us for 9 seasons now, 8 or 9 seasons.
I think that's been his 10th now.
Yeah, it's just about this is the 10th, so he, gonna get the plaudits he deserves, and he's been brilliant for us. There's no doubt about that. But you have to replace that, and the saves, the games he's saved for us. That we've just talked about all the penalty saves he's had. So he's been absolutely fantastic for us. But it is time, and this is the right way to transition, is to bring in a number one from another team and then have them compete and then have them earn it. And then you can feel comfortable letting Lloris go and letting him go in a good way that isn't going to be nasty or negative in any way. It's just sort of, hey, this is it's a natural transition. You're out of a certain age, and we think it's time to move on. So,
Joe is as well. What a great what I loved about him. When we signed him, didn't know a lot about him. Can't confess to it, but when I watched his first interview, I didn't know his English was that fluent. Like
Lloris or
Galini?
Oh, Galini, yeah. Galini, he speaks very well. Yeah.
Oh my God, it's like literally better than mine. But then also you look at it, you bring him in, and then you bring Romero in. So there's already 2 people that know each other very, very well. So it's like settling in and whatever. It's been very, very well dealt with, very, very well thought out. But when it comes to Hugo Lloris, he has been a phenomenal servant. I mean, I have actually seen live and on TV Hugo Lloris make saves that I didn't even think was humanly possible.
He's insane. He's insane. Yeah.
Like literally, his shot stopping is incredible.
I actually think his shot stopping is the best in the league. I think he has other parts of his game that let him down. The distribution of his game, decision making, being slightly smaller than other keepers, is owning the boxes a bit. He makes bad decisions, knowing when to come for the ball. That's his not his
one of his strengths when he joined. Rushing out by that sweeper keeper, he was like,
used to be incredible at it, but he lost confidence in it, and I think maybe just the way the team was structured and playing, he didn't feel like he could do it anymore. But he's not a big strong guy, whereas Galini is like 6'7" and massive dude. He's gonna just bully people and get them out of the way and own the box. So it's I'm excited to see him play. I mean, he even just in the preseason games, he looked quite good for me, and
I love to save.
I'm looking forward to it.
I love to save the one where he dived and palmed it out.
Fantastic save, yeah.
The way he palmed it out. Unfortunately, recently Hugo hasn't been palming it that far out into the danger area.
A couple of moments where it was a bit dodgy.
Yeah.
Although Galini did have that one dodgy one where he went down and saved it. It kind of popped it in front and got away with it. But he's going to be a very good replacement for Lloris. And we can also that means we can shift the captaincy to a player that is on the pitch rather than in goal, which we've talked about over and over again. He's like, I don't like a keeper as a captain, and I don't think most people who who support Spurs like it either. There's some people who do, but I just think it's a bad position to have a captain. He should be playing. Captain should be either in the center half, in defense, or in the center defensive midfield, where they can see the game, but are also in the middle of it, and the players can hear them and talking to them, which I don't think a keeper can do when you're on the other end of the pitch. So.
Exactly. Well, you could have done right now during COVID with the lockdown, but now that the crowd are coming back,
yeah,
it's
you
going to be
can't
a
hear him
lot
anymore.
harder. And
Yeah.
I'm one of those where, for me, a captain's got to be either a centre back or a centre mid, because then they can deploy it around the pitch, they can put the messages up. But when it comes to it, listen, I think Kane has, even if he stays, it's like, do you strip him of the captaincy, vice captaincy straight away because of his work or whatever? I mean, whatever happens, when one of them go or both of them go, there's only one man. There's only one man that's captain.
Yeah, it's got to be Højbjerg.
Yeah. Without a shadow of a doubt. If you can find a Spurs fan that could say to me, Joe, what, he doesn't deserve the captaincy, I'd literally be amazed.
It'd be shocking, really. And there are Spurs fans who don't think he's even very good, which is bizarre to me. But if some people see things different ways than others, I suppose.
It's like when I speak to my dad's two favourite players, Dave Mackay and Alan Gilzean. One was as hard as nails, but make Roy Keane look like an absolute pussy. And the other one, Alan Gilzean, was just like they called him the artist. He was literally that elegant and whatever. And some people love different type of players. So like I said, I mean, it's well documented that my idol and always will be is Paul Gascoigne, just because of what that guy does. But my second player is Jan Vertonghen. And you look at that, we've had the Harry Kanes, the superstars, the Ginolas, the Bales. Jan Vertonghen's miles ahead of them for me.
Yeah,
personally.
Yeah, I would agree. Just a couple of comments here I want to get to in regards to Hugo Lloris, what we were talking about. George says you can't lead your side between the goalposts. Sean Snow's response to that is he led a team to a World Cup between the sticks. That is true, but the team that he led to the World Cup was arguably the best possible team you could imagine when it comes to the players in that team. You didn't really need to do a heck of a lot. You had so much quality in that side. It's different than a club side, I think. Anyway, I think you could have a goalkeeper as a captain in a tournament. It's quite different than having a goalkeeper as a captain in a club team. I think that the way the game is played and the type of football that's being played is slower. It's more methodical. It's a different game. So I don't think they're the exact same. But good comments from both you guys. I appreciate it. You got
to remember as well that Hugo Lloris in that World Cup final made one of his typical.
He nearly botched it like he did, like he's done a few times for Spurs.
Huge howler.
To
make it 4-2 or whatever. I mean, France were unbelievable that World Cup, and it was the birth of Mbappe.
Yeah.
And have you seen today they're talking about he could be going off to Real Madrid this summer?
Yeah, they've been talking about that for a while. It's been a rumor for ages. But then Messi comes in. Why would he go?
Because he, like Neymar, left to become number one, and also his contract's running out at the end of the season.
No, maybe. They want to get some money for him for sure. I can see
exactly. Yeah, they'll come up. But isn't it amazing how Real Madrid are saying we're broke? Oh, Mbappe's ready. Oh, okay.
They've sold as many players as they can to try to afford him, but still probably won't even buy him. I can't see them buying him, to be honest. I don't think it'll happen. As much as the rumors that the Spanish teams in the Spanish league are a giant mess at the moment. There's so much debt that I don't think any of them have the ability to manage it. And I think I agree with Sean Snow on this, and I think he'll want to play with Messi at least for a season. I don't know if the PSG will allow it, but kind of gone a bit off track here. But when it comes down to Lloris and him being a captain, I think it's different from a club perspective than it is from an international side. So I want to talk a little bit about the fans. We're going to wrap it up soon, guys. We didn't have anybody want to join us, which is fine. It's been a while since we've been here, and we understand that not everybody is necessarily excited about.
And there's a lot of people from back home, I would imagine, watching it where it's like 2:00 in the morning. So
there's that as well. I do want to chuck this comment in here. This is for the local folks, and I don't know what you're doing on Sunday, Brad, for the game, but I'm excited to go to the Yard on Sunday. It just feels like forever since I've been to the pub to watch Spurs. Something about feeling of watching it with a bunch of supporters. Hal, I take it you're going.
Of course, I will. I've already been
to the
speaking,
yard.
mate.
I'm sure Brian, you're going as well. So, I'm not gonna be in Toronto, and normally I'd be at the Dunright. I'd probably end up joining Brian at the yard maybe for this game. Who knows? But
Well, we're going to split it, aren't we?
we're gonna be
go back
splitting it
and
up.
forth.
Yeah, we're gonna be splitting it up to both locations. So look for us to do some live shows. Pre and post game at both locations, chatting with the fans like Hal and ourselves, of course, and anybody else who's local, and of course we'll be having you folks on if you're not from where we are, and having you on to comment and stuff. So
Yeah, Cody Mack.
Cody
Yeah,
Mack. If he's not in the
Co-
comments, I don't know if he was with us earlier, but he's probably bailed. I don't know where he's.
so Cody has never watched a Spurs game with Spurs fans
That's
in
insane.
a Spurs pub because obviously he's only been a supporter for so long, and he lives. I mean, I don't know the geography here. He lives in Muskoka. But yeah, I mean, this is great. I mean, since we started this, obviously, for people that don't know, I'm on the board of Toronto Spurs. It's one of the first things I did when I moved out here. Made sure I found out where I can watch the Spurs games. And we have a wonderful pub, two pubs now. We have a wonderful party.
East and
A
West.
pub. Yeah, we got one called the Scotland Yard and the other one called the Dunright. So the Scotland Yard is a huge venue, huge
Massive
venue,
place. Yeah.
and they've always been so good to us. And that's owned by Canadians and whatever, and they show all sports. But whenever football's on, Spurs are on all the TVs. And then obviously you got your pub, Brian, which is done right in, which is owned by a London Spurs fan, which makes it even.
Yeah, Sean, my buddy Sean, who's a fantastic lad. He's been in Canada for some time, but a Brit, and his girlfriend sort of ran the bar, and he just sort of took it over and turned it into a Spurs bar. So now it's all Spurs all the time. Every time there's a game, he'll cook for everybody. He'll make some food, $10 all you can eat, and burgers. Yeah, he makes Indian food and pies, and it's just it's always brilliant, and does it at halftime. And there's a good group of guys there as well. Hal's been there. We saw Hal there when we were there the last time for the England game.
Scotland.
Yeah, for England, Scotland. So it's a great spot. So if you guys are in town, come check it out. And if you're watching from the area, then meet Brian and Hal down there on Sunday at the yard. And I wish I could be there with you guys. It'd be a lot of fun.
There's gonna be a few people. I think
Cody's going to be there too, right? Like, oh man,
Yeah.
you got to get pics. You got to get some selfies with the Cody Mack, because I need to see it, and we'll post him here next week.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I think Cody's going to try and get down because we've got Arsenal in September. So I said to him, listen, you've got to come down for a North London derby. So we shall see. The Scotland Yard is literally, honestly, do you know one of the things that I love about these pubs here as well?
Oh, and wait, Sean Welburn going to join you guys as well?
Sean, are you coming on Sunday?
It says
When
in me, so it looks like it.
When I spoke to him, I don't think he was coming down Sunday. He might be coming for Arsenal, I think, but I don't know if he's coming.
We've got a gentleman in the bullpen here waiting to hop on.
Oh, wicked! Bring him on.
Yeah, Nick Lazy. What's up, Nick?
Oh my God, Nick,
hey, what's
man,
up,
how
gents?
are you doing?
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing very well. I'm doing very well, man. I'm making dinner for the missus right now, so I just wanted to jump in with a thought. I don't know if you. I was in a little late, so I don't know how much about Stevie B you talked about, but I just have been having some thoughts in the back of my head for the couple of days, and it seems to me like, I know he gets a lot of stick about finishing and what his work rate in the final third, but it seems to me in the preseason like he's being groomed by Nuno to be more of a provider, and that he's been told to take on his man on the wing. And then when he gets in the final third, because it's preseason, look for the center forward, look for Sonny in particular, because that's what he's done. That's I think he had 2 assists, 2 Sonny over the preseason.
He did.
And it seems like Nuno knows that the first game is ultra important, and we are going to go with the lineup that he has been putting out, and it's going to be Sonny up front, and he's going to have to play, Stevie and Lucas, basically. And I think it's the same thing for Lucas. The same thing for Lucas. He's been trying out certain positions for Lucas and giving him certain instructions and seeing if he can do it. That's what I have to say, man.
It's a good show, Nick, and we did chat a bit about it, and it just to add to what you said, it does seem that Nuno is attempting to get the best out of both of those players as wide players to really, to feed whoever it is at striker, whether it's Kane or Sonny. So, and I really, really want to see Bergwijn come good, because we talked about the previous games when he scored his first goal against City. We were talking about that game. And, he's had really brilliant moments. He looked super confident when he first came in. So hopefully we can get him back, even scoring goals, but also providing for whoever it is that is playing striker. But yeah, good shout, man.
Yeah. You know what it is as well. When he came, when we signed him, I use this reference a lot. We signed him because apparently we wanted backup for Kane, but we signed a right winger. Then we had a right winger, but then we wanted to play the right winger at right back, even though we bought Doherty to play at right back, but we played a right winger at right back. I love Bergwijn. After the Liverpool, he is such a hot talent, and he came over now. This is the thing: when people come over from Holland, they think all of a sudden, "Oh, it's Johan Cruyff," or they're Dutch. They've got to have that elegance. That's it. And he came over, and you got to remember, Premiership footballers are very, very well paid. But this guy came over from Holland as a young kid, or a young guy. Sorry, don't want to be disrespectful to him. And literally, COVID happened. His family couldn't come over.
It's been a difficult time for sure.
And he had a kid, and we all know, how devastating that can be, because
I'm sure, Nick, you got some in the background right now that don't want to hear you saying that, probably.
Luckily, they're asleep. So.
Oh, there you go. Perfect.
Yeah, I think he's. I'm so happy he's getting another chance, because I think we've got a real player there.
Yeah, I really have the highest hopes for Stevie, man.
What do you reckon score, Nick?
Yeah, let's give us a scoreline.
2-1. 2-1.
You go
2-1. 2-1 Spurs and Son. And you know what? Coming on and Bergwijn, or coming on in the 80th minute, Harry Kane.
Ooh, I like it. I like it.
Yeah, I know it's an unlikely shout, but that's my dream.
It's a good shout, though, Nick.
I have to let you know, I'm so happy that Nick called in, because have you seen Nick before or anything, Brian?
I haven't, first time.
Okay, so I was on. Do you remember that? You would have seen him, actually. Do you remember when I went apoplectic on David Harris's show, and I was ranting, and I was like
every time you've been on there?
No, when I was going on about the whatever deal a couple of weeks ago.
Right.
Nick was actually on before me, and it was his debut.
Oh, remember you telling me about him, actually? Yeah.
And he was like, and he was speaking about how he feels about Edith leaving. And you know what? This guy speaks. Honestly, I'm so happy you called in, Nick. It's a pleasure.
Nick, where are you calling in from, by the way? Out of curiosity.
I'm calling in from the beautiful borough of Brooklyn, New York, man.
Oh, nice. Another New York and Spur. Cheers, brother.
Yeah, he's very close.
I'm not from New York. Our buddy Jack is from New York, so I just
nice. I'm about a half a mile down the block from him.
Oh, nice. Good stuff. Well, cheers for hopping on, buddy. Appreciate it.
I appreciate it, man. And
anytime you're welcome,
all
buddy.
The best. Thank you, and all the best to the new venture, guys, man. I'm gonna get back to cooking.
Yeah, man.
Get back to cooking. What we're gonna do when we do our actual podcast, when we start doing it, we're gonna have one special guest on the week. I'll reach out to you on Twitter, and maybe we'll get you on one week if you're free.
That's fantastic, man.
Let's do that, Nick.
I'm looking forward to it, man.
Right, have a great
Brian,
weekend, Nick.
You too, Brian.
That was easy, right? There's Nick.
Buddy.
Have a good one.
Take care.
Ciao.
He's a top dude. Top
fantastic.
Dude.
I think that's a good spot to end it, buddy. It is getting a bit late. It's 8:30 here, and
yeah, mate. I said you are in the cottage, but wow, has it got dark?
Yeah, it's gotten real. Well, it's real.
Wow.
I'm on the patio, and yeah.
Yeah, but we started. I could see the wooded building.
I'm just like a floating head.
Yeah, now like Jesus Christ. That is weird.
Yeah, it is what it is. Just nice being outside. But a fantastic show today, and thanks everybody for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done that already, because we are not new to YouTube, but we are new to this channel, and we're just trying to grow it back to sort of the levels we were at Tottenham Way, and where those guys are helping us, we're helping them. It's been a difficult, but at the same time necessary. So enjoying the process again and getting ourselves back to where we need to be. And it's been a pleasure to have everybody in the comments, and thanks for everybody saying all the wonderful things. And Sunday, let's get the job done. Let's get a win, and let's be happy when you see us next week. We were supposed to have on the show, Brian, do you want to talk a little bit about Danny?
So yeah, I mean, we're talking about we're going to do a pre-recorded show, or we're re-record something pre-recorded to give everyone what's going on. But yeah, the Yid Kid was going to come on. We don't know what's happened to him today. He's actually going to have his own show on the channel. He's actually a qualified ref. This kid who is going to be a superstar, whatever he sets himself to do, whether it be via media or whatever. This guy, honestly, I wish I'd been like him at his age. Honestly. and he's a qualified ref, so he's going to have his own show called The Final Whistle, which will be on every single week, and it will be discussing all the most controversial referee decisions. So it's a show we're really happy to have on the channel.
Yeah, some a bit different. He has personal experience with it, and we can ask him questions. He's going to ask us questions, and he's going to run the show too. We're going to let him have his own go at it, and really looking forward to him. If you haven't seen the Yid Kid, he is having to change his name, unfortunately, due to, as you can imagine, folks not liking the term Yid for the wrong reasons, which is unfortunate, but it's the reality that we live in. So he's going to be Danny THFC, and we look forward to having him on. Hopefully, first show will be next week. We're not sure what day yet. We were hoping to work that out today, but he will be with us, and then we've got a few other really good things lining up in the next month or so that you're going to really enjoy. That it's going to be very funny. So looking forward to it, and we'll be back next Friday as well.
I was going to say, are we doing a post match on Sunday?
We may do a post match on Sunday. Probably not. Probably not, just because it is my birthday weekend.
Of course it is.
It's Monday's my actual birthday, and so Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I'm basically going to be doing stuff with the lady and the friends and stuff. So I'm probably not going to hop on the YouTubes, but yeah, you'll see us next week at the very least on the Friday, and hopefully the Yid Kids show will be out no later than Wednesday, but we'll let everybody know, and we'll check it on our Twitter. So go subscribe, not subscribe, go hop on our follow us on Twitter, and it's the end of the show. Shut up. Exactly. And at our Facebook, and you'll see stuff, and you can come see the show. So yeah, Brian, it's been a pleasure as always, buddy.
Yeah, I just want to very quickly end off with one thing and just say, listen, guys, first of all, thank you for coming over and watching the first two Brians. It really has meant a lot to us. Like we've like Brian Ireland said, we moved away from Tottenham away, very, very friendly and everything, just because of the time difference. Like when we wanted to do shows, now that COVID's getting over, the world's going back to normal. And to have you all come on to our first show, it's like our second video, and to have your support and everything, it just means the absolute world to us. And like I said, when we did the release of the channel, we want this to be a really, really interactive channel and get as many of you guys on. And if you want to come on and talk about anything, let us know. We want to make it your channel just as much as ours. So thank you so much for the support. And yeah, enjoy your weekend. And let's hope Spurs give us 3 points. And if not, let's all go watch Arsenal Fan TV.
Absolutely. And so just as we're going to end the show, Cody Mack, who isn't actually Cody Mack, is with us. It's actually Sean. Sean, I'm bringing you on for the end of the show because we're literally shutting down now. But what's up, Sean? Thanks for pretending to be Cody Mack.
Shut her down, guys. Shut her down. Great show. No, thanks, I want to say hi and say congratulations on your new venture, and you guys are great. Love you both. And I hope you too, brother. I hope to see you down at the yard soon. It won't be this weekend. I apologize, but I will definitely be down there for the scum.
Oh, you said it's your wife's birthday, didn't you? If I remember correctly.
It's my wife's 50th birthday on Monday, so we're doing a little birthday thing on.
Same day as Brian. You got the
same birthday as me. My birthday's on Monday too.
Your birthday's on the 16th?
Yeah, mate.
That's my wife's birthday. There you go.
Same birthday. I'm only 47. Don't tell her I said that.
Yeah, no, I won't. I won't exactly.
All right, guys. Absolute pleasure. Thanks for hopping on, Sean. We appreciate it, brother. And everybody else, we'll see you soon. Have a good one.
3-1 Spurs. 3-1 Spurs.
Let's hope so. Let's hope so.